Good morning. This is Chair French, and I am convening the regular business meeting and annual organizational meeting for the Kansas Corporation Commission on this Thursday, January 11th, joined by my colleagues, Commissioner Keene and Commissioner Keither. On today's agenda, we have 19 consent agenda items, and then, as I mentioned, we have our organizational meeting, which will include review and approval of some items, mostly all of them administrative nature. But we will begin with our consent agenda. Commissioners, you've had the opportunity to review the items on the consent agenda. Let me ask at this time whether you have any questions about those items, and I will begin with Commissioner Keither.
Good morning. I do not have any questions. Thank you.
And Commissioner Keene.
Good morning. No questions. It is my intention to recuse on consent agenda item number 3. Noting that recusal, I would move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second with the notation to approve the consent agenda, but with the notation that Commissioner Keene is recusing on item number 3. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The consent agenda is approved. All right, we will now move to our organizational meeting, and we have listed here on our notice all of the items we're going to review, and a couple of the items we'll seek approval for. Commissioners, I believe you were provided a packet with background materials for each of these items, so I will just take them in the order they're listed. First, we have the review and approval of the schedule of commission business meetings for 2024. I believe this also included in the packet are our policies of noticing or canceling different business meetings. So with that, I would open for any discussion or a motion to approve the schedule of commission business meetings.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the schedule of commission business meetings as provided for us.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the schedule of commission business meetings for 2024. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. All right, the business meeting schedule is approved. We now move to our second organizational meeting item, and that is simply the review and approval of an updated commission organizational chart. Again, the org chart and all of the background materials are included in your packet. At this time, I will ask if there is any discussion, and if there's not discussion, I would welcome a motion to approve the updated commission organizational chart.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that for the approval of the updated commission organizational chart as provided to us.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to approve the updated commission organizational chart. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The org chart is approved. All right, we are humming along. Our next two items do not require any approval. Simply want to note that within your packet, we have our next item, which is a mid-year budget report showing the progress along our path of fiscal year 2024 and where we are within our budget. I will, again, no need for approval, but I will just open the floor. If there is any discussion that needs to be had, I wanted to provide the opportunity. All right.
Mr. Chairman, I would simply note this, and I think I'm speaking for all three of us. I really appreciate the extraordinary efforts that have gone into the preparation of this budget by our staff, and particularly the efforts of Lynn Rentz as she really oversaw that effort. But with having said that, though, that really is the extent of my comment. But I think it needs to be noted that that was really an extraordinary effort.
Yeah, I think I would just add, yes, we're moving through these items pretty quickly, but this is, that item in particular, but all of this packet that was put together for us is very comprehensive. It is all publicly available, and it gives a good snapshot of the agency activities, and a lot of work goes into, this level of review. So even though we may have had plenty of opportunity to review it, and may not have discussion, I certainly would join you in expressing our thanks for the level of diligence that went into preparing all of this. So if there's no further discussion on the mid-year budget report, we'll move to our next item. Again, this is also just a review item. And within your packet, you have a summary of human resources activities in 2023. And I would just open the floor for any discussion. Again, this is not an approval item, just simply a review of the materials prepared by our HR office. All right.
Again, I appreciate I know I speak for all of us. We certainly appreciate the efforts that HR does here and in all respects. And more generally, the efforts of our staff in all of our various divisions, the level of dedication to service that they provide, I think is reflected by the level and credibility of the results. So I appreciate this overview. It's very helpful. And with that, I guess that's my comment.
Yep. Very good. Well, again, we don't need approval, so we will consider the HR activity memo reviewed. Our final action today, and we do need action on this item, is the election of a commissioner to serve as chairperson under our bylaws. We elect a chair each year from the three of us. And so at this time, I would open the floor for any motions of a commissioner chairperson.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, in accordance with the bylaws of the Kansas Corporation Commission and the provisions thereof governing the selection of our chair, at this time it is a distinct honor and privilege for me to nominate Commissioner Andrew French to serve as the KCC chair for the next year.
Second. With pleasure.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second for Commissioner French to serve as chair for the following year. Is there any further discussion on that motion?
Is the chair willing to accept?
The chair is willing to accept that nomination. It is, I will say, it is primarily a ministerial and an administrative position, but I'm honored to serve in that position. And to the extent it is a position that represents the people of our agency, it is truly an honor to represent the agency in that way. And so, yes, absolutely, I am willing. So with that, I believe we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. The motion is approved. That takes us to the conclusion of all the items noticed on today's business and organizational meeting agenda. If there is no further business to come before us this morning, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion that we adjourn.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. We're adjourned. Take care, everyone. Stay warm.
Stay warm.